These baby hairs. Gotta love postpartum. Ever dream of opening your own cafe? Well, my husband and I did, and it was kind of a disaster. Here are the 3 biggest mistakes we made, so you don't have to repeat them. Hi guys, my name is Jayla Blanco. I'm a business owner. I'm a mom of 2 little ones, and I'm trying a lot of new things. I'm trying to improve myself. I'm trying different things in business, and I thought I'd just document it and share it with whoever wanted to watch. January 2022, my husband and I teamed up with another couple. We decided to open up a kombucha bar, espresso cafe. Everything on the outside looked great. We had lines out the door, even though we were outside. We had great reviews on Yelp and Google. We were the new pop-in, popular cafe. People were talking about us. From the outside, everything just looked great. But on the inside, we were like a candle burning at both ends, and it just wasn't sustainable. Number 1, we used our own money for all startup costs. We saved $30,000 in our emergency fund. We were completely out of debt other than our mortgage. And when this whole business venture came about, we said, yeah, we have $30,000 to invest. Let's do it. All the money that we put in was into Vitamixes, espresso machine, cups, repairs, anything that needed money. We opened up, we weren't making that much money. We were building a name for ourselves, so we were the ones working, and we couldn't pay ourselves much money. It had to stay in the business. So not only did all of our money get put into the business, we couldn't pay ourselves back. So it was a vicious cycle of not being able to pay ourselves a lot. So we had to take out even more debt on our credit card or a personal loan to cover our living expenses while we were doing this. And it just became this big cycle of more debt, no money, more debt. The big takeaway: use other people's money, guys. And you can crowdfund, you can pitch it to people, family, friends, find investors. Number 2, we did not systemize. You think about Starbucks, it's this huge franchise and it's so successful. Why? They have these procedures that are quick, easy, and simple. So essentially, anyone off the street with a few hours of training can make you your coffee, which is great for business. At our cafe, totally opposite. We were not quick. It took 10-ish minutes sometimes to make one drink or one smoothie. More, it depends, because we were using scales, we were using a force tamp, we were using this whole intricate system to make one cup of coffee, but we wanted it to be specialty and to taste perfect, and we wanted to do it the right way, and it took a long time. So it wasn't quick. Easy, again, wasn't easy. We were sourcing our own coconuts. My husband was climbing up the coconut trees. That was his business beforehand. Getting the coconuts down, we had to pay for the ground crew, and we weren't paying my husband at all for this. And he would bring them back, process the coconuts, which is like cutting them open, scraping the meat, running it through these presses that we had from Thailand. Then we had to make coconut milk, mixing it with water, this whole intricate process just for fresh coconut milk from Maui. It wasn't from a can, it wasn't from Costco, and we had a lot of pride in that, but it was not easy. Things weren't simple. Again, we had these intricate processes of the way we made our coffee, the way we made our coconut milk. We were so artisan and different, so specialty. But the problem with that was, who does all that work? We do. And do the customers always appreciate that? No. Most of the time they were tourists visiting from different regions of the US or even worldwide. And some people loved it. They were like, this is the best coffee. This is a gem. You can't find coconut milk made by a cafe. Like usually it's from can. But most of the time they just wanted their coffee quick with a lot of sugar in it. And if it took too long or if it was too different, they didn't want it. So why were we spending so much time trying to be different and bougie, if that's not what the customers wanted. Big takeaway: pick one thing to be specialty. Maybe we should have just had one special drink and not 5 or 6 specialty drinks. Don't pick something so specific for one type of person. Maybe we buy coconut milk from the store. Maybe we don't spend so much money on coconuts. Number 3, we were in the wrong industry and the wrong cash flow quadrant. So my husband and I love artisan food, and we love elevated ingredients, local ingredients, organic ingredients, healthy food, but we were not built to be in the restaurant industry. It is the hardest industry to make a profit. The National Restaurant Association says 60% of restaurants fail in their first year, and then 80% fail within their first 5 years. You must really love your craft or what you do, or baking or cooking, to make it, because you're in this small space or your kitchen or wherever it's at, our cafe, for all day. We were there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. sometimes. And remember, we had 1 child at this time. We have 2 now, but when we had the cafe, we had 1 small child. She was less than 2 years old. It was very hard, very, very hard. Cash flow quadrant. So quick recap about that. Robert Kiyosaki has a book called Cash Flow Quadrant, and there are different parts of the quadrant. Employee is E, S is self-employed, B is business owner, and I is investor. We thought we were being B's, business owners, thinking we're just going to run this cafe, have employees and all these things. But we are more S, self-employed, which means we owned a job, which means we were working long hours for little money. And we did try to become B's. We did try to hire a team, and we had standardized operating procedures, SOPs, very specific, how to make the drinks, how to put the bento boxes together, and they did them. We were trying to be B's, and we had to manage employees and just employees calling in sick and like all of those things. We would have to cover the shift. It didn't matter. We couldn't really have a life anyways, and it was so much work. If I were to do something different, buy a boring business or a franchise, or something that was very systemized, that was simple, and becoming a B, really focusing on being a B, not S, not the self-employed. All in all, it was a really good experience. I learned how to sweep floors correctly, how to mop floors correctly. Aside from that, I learned how to navigate difficult conversations with employees, with customers, with people, with my husband. I learned how to work with my husband, which was really hard in the beginning. We almost didn't make it. As time went on, we become such a great team, and I love working with him most of the time. We wouldn't be where we are now if we didn't go through this crazy year. We worked our butts off. The cafe was open from January 2022 to May 2023. Then we transitioned to a different location a few miles away and tried to open a restaurant from May 2023, and ultimately we closed in August 2023. More about that later on, but thank you for listening to the 3 mistakes that we made opening a cafe, opening up our first business. If you like what you're hearing, you want to know more about our journey, then like and subscribe.